Almighty God, known by many names, heard in many languages, we invoke your presence with us today. Today we celebrate the accomplishments of those who receive diplomas, of those who begin new chapters in their lives. We invoke your blessings upon them. There are those among the class of 2019 who have passed through Wabash on a straight path. And there are those who have struggled and arrive here today battered and bruised. Make each mindful, we pray, of what they have accomplished. Let success mend self-esteem and give perspective to achievement. Bless as well those who have supported them in their work, in the classroom, at home, and on the way. Professors who have given of themselves in ways that will only be understood with the passage of time. Families who have sacrificed much. Friends who have learned from them and taught as only peers can. We remember in particular this afternoon those of our company whose chairs stand empty. Fill our hearts with comfort and consolation as we commit ourselves to keep their memories and stories with us in coming years. Bless this good college and those who sacrifice time, treasure, and talent that it may long endure. Make us ever mindful of those on whose shoulders we stand, as well as those who follow in our path. Even as we celebrate accomplishment and transition, may we continue to seek wisdom. Hear our prayer. Amen.
Welcome to the 181st Commencement at Wabash College. I remind you that it is 90 degrees warmer than it was on January 29th and 30th, the day we decided to keep classes open. So we're gonna try to keep this as outside as we can today, everyone. That's the tradition of the college. Our spirits shine brightly, even in this unusual May day, as we celebrate the men of the class of 2019. We are joined here today by our special guests on the platform and by trustees, faculty, family members from near and far, and all who love Wabash. But today's focus is on you, the 198 men who make up the class of 2019. Gentlemen, you have taken on the rigors of our college and have thrived under the many challenges you have faced. You have emerged stronger for your perseverance, resilience, and courage. You have been teachers, learners, and listeners. You have grown and embodied the highest ideals of our gentleman's rule, most of the time. And you have demonstrated the great value of civil discourse in our democratic society. Your hard work has paid off. You leave our great college to work for excellent firms, to attend medical and law schools, to pursue advanced degrees in science and the humanities at exceptional universities, and to serve our country and as teachers in our public schools. Among you are All-Americans and academic All-American athletes, recipients of international fellowships. Your singing, acting, filmmaking, and artistic creativity is exceptional. Some of you have facilitated difficult conversations at the local, state, regional, and national levels. Others have played roles in critical public and mental health issues. Men of the class of 2019, we are very proud of you, and we know that you are equipped for lives of purpose and meaning. You leave your alma mater prepared to flourish and to be men your liberal arts education has informed you to be. Our first speaker is Quinn Cavin, who majored in theater and psychology and received distinction on his comprehensive exams. He has had leading roles in 8 theatrical productions and received the 2019 Phi Beta Kappa Prize for his short film, Rain Dance, perhaps appropriate for today. He is the son of Becky and Kurt Cavin. Our second speaker is Jaleel Lucas Grandberry, who majored in rhetoric and minored in creative writing. He played linebacker on Wabash's NCAC championship football team, served as chair of the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies, and received the MXI Service Award. He was also active in the Wabash Democracy and Public Discourse Initiative and worked in the Sports Information Office. He is the son of Kimberly and Joseph Grandberry. Each young man will speak without further introduction. Please welcome Quinn and Jaleel.
Good afternoon, happy graduation, and happy Mother's Day, Wabash. Class of 2019, the 181st graduating class of Wabash College. It's an understatement to call it an honor to represent you here today. What I did to earn the honor is beyond me, but what I do know is that it wouldn't have been possible without the infinite support of my family, my friends, my professors out in the audience today. Thank you. To my mother and father, I owe all my accomplishments, for they were the first to teach me the principles of endurance and love, acceptance that have made me the man I am today. I received a letter from them at the end of my 8th grade graduation. The letter expressed their pride in my endeavors regardless of my performance. I remember my dad wrote about the pride he had coaching my middle school basketball team, despite the fact that the number of points I scored that season was lower than my Wabash GPA. I had not been exceptional. I struggled in math and reading, and I'm still an atrocious speller. I never felt outstanding in any particular way, but I was always met with tremendous love, support, and affirmation. As I move forward with my own life and perhaps become a parent one day, I hope to be parents like mine, ceaselessly understanding and gentle and supporting. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I want to talk a bit today about something very near to me, which is storytelling. There are lots of ways a story can be told, around a campfire, in a movie, journalism, poetry, music. Allow me to tell you a little story about accomplishment. So it's enchilada night at the Teak House. Across the table from me, my fraternity brother Colby Dunnigan, or to many Cheese, sits down. He's shortly followed by our beloved chef Susan, carrying a silver platter, holding what was and is the largest enchilada I've ever seen. Colby Dunnigan is perhaps the largest human being I've ever seen. Clocking in at 6'3" and 300 pounds. He's a big football player, so it's only reasonable he be served an enchilada roughly the volumetric equivalent of an actual football. Now, I'd lived with a man for 4 years. I'd seen him eat, but this was different. This was an enchilada capable of feeding a family for 4, right? There's only so much room in the human stomach. Shirtless as usual, armed with nothing but a fork and his trusted bottle of ranch dressing, I watched the man eat every last bite. Now, this probably wasn't what you'd imagine when I introduced a story about accomplishment, but trust me, it was a feat of nature and nothing less than inspiring. Stories come in all shapes and sizes, as you can see, and if they're good, they're never exactly what you expect them to be. Stories are the foundation of culture and community, history and experience. They're something we share. They invoke feeling and passion, knowledge. We crave this type of catharsis, to feel and experience something together. It's the basis of theater, Sunday morning church, blockbuster cinema, college graduations. They say that college is a time to become the person you'll be for the rest of your life, to find yourself. I have to admit, even standing up at this podium, I'm still searching for what my story might be. What will your story be? Will it be memorable? Great? The punchline to a bad joke? I took a class this semester, Introduction to Existentialism, a class composed entirely of freshmen, Dr. Hughes and myself. In this class, I was challenged in a way that I'd really never been before. You see, this class made me immediately aware of the limited amount of time I'd been allotted. And it seemed pretty easy to choke on the nihilism of it, being reminded of my own mortality every Tuesday and Thursday at 2:40 p.m. You think about your life as footprints in the sand, soon to be washed away by tides of time, no matter how many you make or how deep you make them. The only thing that kept it from being the most depressing class offered on this campus is that there's a certain freedom guaranteed in thinking about the world this way. Failure, insecurities, fears, they're temporary. How could you be limited by something so trivial? Your life is like being given a blank piece of paper. It's not a color by number. There are no lines to stay within. You can make a paper airplane if you feel like it. It's your piece of paper. Of course there are obstacles. Of course there are things you have to overcome. We've overcome a lot as it is, and there's many, many more obstacles ahead of us. But the freedom's in your perception, and it's in your understanding of happiness and your willingness to be happy. The limitations set on you are the ones you allow to be placed on you. This freedom, the freedom to write your own story, is only accessible if you recognize that freedom in you, recognize that freedom in others, and act upon it. I'd recommend the class, but it's a little late for most of us at this point. In light of this, I've been burdened with a responsibility. Now I have to be the author of my own story. I can't let someone else tell it for me. I can't let someone else tell me how to do it. And I can't let myself drift down life. It's not an easy task. The world we live in is different than it's ever been before. The job market is different now. Things are constantly changing. Oscar Wilde famously said, "The only thing one knows about humanity is that it changes." No one has the answer anymore. I mean, we live in an era where you can make a career vlogging, so nothing's off the table at this point. We're not doing things the same way our parents did. I remember seeing the beads of sweat forming on my grandfather's brow the first time I mentioned a career in filmmaking, and I get it, Grandpa, scary for me too. But we're at a point right now to make a choice for us, to attempt something. There isn't another moment quite like this one, with this type of freedom. There's no second chances and there's no reward for playing it safe. Jim Carrey tells this iconic story about his father. He describes him as the funniest man in the room and a gifted saxophone player as well. He says his father could have been a great comedian, but he never believed that was possible for him. In order to become all that he could have been, he would have had to leave the security of his home, his safety. He would have had to risk the modest security of a 9-to-5 job and risk failing at his greatest passion. So he made the safe call. He took a job as an accountant instead, and it wore him down over time. At age 51, he was let go from that job, and Jim's family became homeless for quite some time. Jim Carrey explains that even when you compromise, you can fail. He says, when you compromise and fail, it hurts, even more than failing at what you love. You can fail at what you don't love, so you might as well try to do what you love. And that experience took Jim Carrey a long way. It pushed him to start small, performing in local comedy clubs in Ontario. These little risks added up. Before long, he was making his first TV appearance on SNL. Years later, headlining features like The Mask and The Truman Show. I've fallen back on that idea time and time again, because our lives could be easier. We didn't have to push ourselves in college, but that's not exactly the Wabash way. We took a risk coming here. We could have chosen something easy, something simple. There are a lot of places that offer your name on a diploma for a lot less than this place. But I believed them when they told me this was an education that I could do anything with. My friend Jared studied theater here and went to medical school. My other friend Jared studied biology and went to law school. Majors don't matter. This was a place that they said would give me the tools to succeed, even if I didn't know what it was I wanted to do when I got started. And to me, that was a risk worth taking. And right now, we're at the closing of Act 1. We have our whole lives ahead of us right now. So whatever the next choice you have to make is, whatever your next big decision is, make it for you. Attempt something, because we don't have a lot to lose right now. And it's not easy being the author of your own story, not at all, especially if you want to do something different, especially if you want to try to bite off more than you can chew. Everyone has been asking me these last 3 weeks what my message is going to be. What am I going to say up here? What are you going to say in your last hour as Wabash students? Well, this is it, that you should take the risk, because before long, the world's going to start to weigh you down. Whether it's eating an inhuman amount of enchilada or chasing the comedy career of your dreams, risk it. Risk going further than those before you. Risk failing at something you love. Risk becoming a story that's worth telling. Wabash College, thank you. I love you.
Good afternoon. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the crowd, or anyone who's ever been a mother figure in someone's life. To the class of 2019, congratulations. I wanted to go first so I didn't have to follow up Quinn's phenomenal speech, but here we are. Before I get started, can I have my family stand up? I just wanted to acknowledge them because they're the reason I'm up here today. And I also did it so I know where to put my good side for all the cameras over there. I'm not going to do the traditional shout outs to specific groups or different people, because if I did, I'd truly be up here all day. I'm sure everyone understands that behind any person with some sort of accomplishments, there's countless individuals helping them get there. So on behalf of all the graduates, I thank everyone who helped us get to this day. I will, though, give special thanks to my immediate family, my father, my mother, my sister, and my favorites, my 2 dogs. In all seriousness, though, my mother, father, and sister, they have given me endless lessons, motivations, and support. They are my 3 biggest influences, and so for that, I say thank you. I always talk about the healthy competition my sister and I had, and how her setting the bar really high drive me to go hard in my different endeavors. So this is a true story. At her undergrad graduation, she graduated summa cum laude, and my mother leaned over to me and said, "You better do the same." I didn't. To make up for that, I figured I'd try to deliver a great speech instead. Moving on to that speech, I decided to title it "Secure the Bag." For those of you who don't know, the bag is a current slang term for a large amount of money, some form of success, or really anything that one desires. And to secure the bag, one must accomplish their goal, capturing whatever it is they defined as the bag. For example, Wabash secured the bag on this past day of giving by surpassing over 5,000 gifts and raising over $1 million. So that's an example of securing the bag. While this is somewhat of a fun and lighthearted term, securing a bag is no easy task. So that is why I wanted to use this speech to share tips that I've learned from my experiences, as well as from members of the class of 2019 that will help us all secure the bag. First, I believe that you should take control of your brand. We are blessed to live in the age of technology, internet, and social media, to where knowledge and opportunity are literally at the edges of our fingertips. That means you can learn whatever craft you want. You can start doing the work. You can start building the following. To give you a better example of what I mean, I'll take you back to my internship last summer with the NFL Network. On the first day as interns were introducing themselves, they were saying majors like visual broadcast with an emphasis in line producing, or double major in broadcast and television directing. I was like, I'm a rhetoric major, and I barely know what that means, but we were there, so. I was in the same spot as those broadcast majors because I took control of my brand. I found ways that I could work in sports here and learn the same skills that they were learning. So you can do the same. You have to take control of your circumstances and create your opportunities. All of this is possible, and the only person that is needed is you. You don't have to wait for someone to hire you. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And that brings me to my second point, which is putting in the work. There's no getting around this one. You have to be committed to your craft. You have to dedicate the time to learn and perfect it. Put in those late nights and early mornings. There's endless quotes I could throw at you about putting in the work, but instead I want to provide you with another example. Be like your brother Bishop Rhodes, who dreams of being a big-time music producer. But instead of just dreaming, Bishop works, student teacher by day, music student by night. As his roommate, I've witnessed him make beats until 4 in the morning, go to sleep, then wake up at 6 and teach students all day, then come home and start right back making beats. Now, I'm not advocating for a lack of sleep, but if you are really committed, you're gonna have to be willing to put in the work, so you can look to Bishop as a better example of how to do that. And putting in the work is not always gonna be easy or fun. For those moments, it's not. You have to remember this next step, which is to enjoy the process. I've heard from numerous professionals that your first few jobs out of college won't be fun. You're gonna have to do a lot of work you don't wanna do. And in those moments, we have to be like our brother Christian Wirtz. I've worked with Christian in the sports information department for the last 4 years. And in that time, I've seen him do a number of jobs, some things glorious and some not so fun. No matter what job Christian was doing, he never complained. He was always committed to giving the best he could. When you actually work through and try to enjoy the process, you become better for it. You don't brush past all the valuable lessons that are there to be learned. Enjoying the process will make you more prepared and appreciative when you do secure your ultimate bag. In pursuit of this bag, you have to be willing to take risks, and you cannot be afraid to fail. Understand that that is a part of the process as well. This is when you must remember this next key of perseverance. Things aren't always gonna look so bright. It's gonna seem like you're doing everything right, but nothing seems to go your way. Don't give up. Going back to the NFL Network internship, everyone reads about how it was a dream come true for me, which it was. But not many know that I applied to every internship NFL Network had to offer since my freshman year of college. It wasn't until I finished my junior year final that I finally got a call saying that I was accepted. That's an example of why you should always keep digging and keep going, because everything you desire may just be one more step away. And while you're on this journey, another key that I think is extremely important is to be yourself, unapologetically. While I think it is important for everyone to be themselves, I want to take this moment to speak to graduates from traditionally marginalized groups, for it is harder for us to be ourselves in a world that has set a standard not designed for all. When you encounter this standard, be like our brother Corey Luters, who stands grounded in his identity no matter the circumstances or who's around. When they tell you that you have cool hair, but they tell you to cut it for the workforce, don't. When they tell you that they love your dialect, but they ask you to clean it up at work, don't. When they say feel free to date whoever you want, but keep it private, remain as public as all other relationships. And while resisting does still come with the risk, we are in a times where we have a little more freedom to push against the grain. And we must do so that we can reset the standard and create a standard that is inclusive and representative for all. For my final tip in securing the bag, I ask that you do not lose your integrity. As many people often get infatuated with money or success, we see their morals fall to the wayside. There will be plenty of opportunities to cut corners and do unethical actions to gain an unjust advantage. Stay away from these moments, not because you may get caught and it may take you off the game, but simply because it is wrong. Please remain honest and maintain your integrity. Many who are very close to me know that I like to play a lot. I call it joking, some may say lying, but it's never anything serious, just always little playful tales, kind of like April Fool's jokes, but every day of the year. Today is no different. I do not want the main takeaway of my speech to be securing the bag. While I do want all of my fellow graduates to secure the bag, and I do genuinely believe that the previously mentioned tips will help in doing so, I want you all to remember that life is about more than a bag. The great Jackie Robinson famously expressed, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." I want to say that again. A life is not important except in the impact that it has on other lives. I asked the class of 2019 that we remember that quote as we go through our lives. We live in a culture where fame and fortune are often many people's top priorities, and it's easy to get caught up in this rat race and lose sight of what truly matters, and that's our relationships to each other. Many feel that money will be the answer to all of the world's problems, but I'm here to tell you that's not the case. To give you an example, in 2017, the world's billionaires made enough money to end extreme poverty 7 times. Now, I'm not saying that it's these individuals' responsibilities to fix the world's problems, but I'm saying that to show that the money is there, but still so are all of the world's problems. That's because it's going to take more than money. It's going to take listening. It's going to take compassion. It's going to take empathy. It's going to take individuals like us deciding to impact those around us as well as those coming after us. New York Times writer David Brooks visited campus and spoke about the 2 hill climbs he often observes in many people. The first, where people are locked in on achieving their financial and career goals. He expressed how they often get there and they find it unfulfilling or it results in some crash. Either way, they're forced to start over. He says this then leads to the second hill climb, where individuals live a life more devoted to impacting people. The privilege of coming after others is that you can learn their lessons without repeating the same mistakes. So as we begin this journey uphill, let's combine the 2 hill climbs that Brooks speaks of and make it one hike. Attack your dreams ferociously. Go secure your bag. But remember that life is more than a bag, and live in a way so that the bag you secure impacts more than just you. Congratulations, class of 2019. Shoot the gap out.
Mr. President.
Mr. Secretary.
Mr. President, I present to you, it's my honor to present to you, Maury Adam Ditzler, so that you might bestow upon him the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. Maury Adam Ditzler. It is with great pride that we welcome you home to Wabash College in this great state of Indiana. We pay tribute to you for your remarkable career in higher education as an award-winning teacher and researcher, as well as a forward-looking administrator at Holy Cross, Millikan, Monmouth, Albion, and of course, your alma mater, Wabash College. You came to Wabash in 1971 from tiny Rosedale High School, committed to getting the most out of your opportunities. You were a campus leader, earned distinction on your comprehensive exams in both chemistry and speech, and graduated summa cum laude and Phi Beta Kappa. The faculty voted you the winner of the John Maurice Butler Prize, and you received a Macintosh Fellowship. You and Judy were married prior to the start of your senior year, and together with family and friends, you started a corn detasseling business that would define your character, further develop your work ethic, and bring you home to Park County every summer for the next 4 decades of your life. After earning your PhD in chemistry at Duke, you began a teaching career at the Holy Cross, where you rose to the rank of full professor. You received significant grant funding and published extensively in national journals, and found new ways to teach chemistry that earned a $1 million NSF grant and a National Teaching Prize in 1994. You were brought back to the Midwest when Millikan University hired you as the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. You oversaw a massive curriculum reform and helped imagine and secure funding for a new science center, a theme that would return in your life. At Wabash College, as Dean of the College, you brought a can-do spirit and attitude that inspired faculty, staff, and students. During your time here, you also designed a great science facility, Hayes Science Hall, helped secure a $20 million grant from the Lilly Endowment to establish the Center of Inquiry in the Liberal Arts, and established summer study programs in Ecuador, which we continue to this day, and championed immersion learning and undergraduate research, which are cornerstones of our college 20 years later. In just 6 years, you were responsible for recruiting and hiring 40% of the college's faculty. 19 of those received tenure and continue to serve the college to this day. Upon your departure in 2005, President Andy Ford said that your unfailing optimism, good humor, wise judgment, and boundless energy made a difference in all that we do. You were called to the presidency of Monmouth by your rural upbringing and strong desire to better align the college's academic program with its geographic location in the heart of the Farm Belt. And yes, you were on point for the construction of another $40 million facility that brings science and business together. You left Monmouth to become the president of Albion College in 2014. You have led an audacious effort to rebuild the academic integrity of the college as well as the economic vitality of the Albion community. You have frequently said you have always believed that the college succeeds when the city succeeds and vice versa, advice that I have taken to heart. In just 5 years, you have secured significant funding for scholarships, pre-med education, and the largest single gift in Albion history. When speaking to the Wabash class of 2004 as dean, you implored these young men to remember who you are. Maury Adam Ditzler, you have always known who you are. Hoosier, educator, visionary, and Wabash man. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegated to that board by the great state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining, of which this citation shall be a permanent witness. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Young man of 2019, notice the plastic bag, okay, everyone? It's going to be arrived in a plastic bag. We're not taking any chances today.
Mr. President.
Mr. Secretary.
Mr. President, it is my honor to present Johnson Robert H. so that you may bestow upon him the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. Johnson Robert H., Wabash College, Crawfordsville, Indiana, 47933, 45 miles northwest of Indianapolis in the heartland of America. Tell me something good. For 5 decades, this is how you've introduced yourself and answered the phone. In just a few seconds, you tell people who you are, where you work, and express your eternal optimism that everyone has something good to say to you. And there's that smile, slowly creeping out from the edges of your mouth and eventually becoming a full-throated laugh. You are contagious, your laugh and your optimism. That's why, for as long as anyone can remember, we have brought out our newest students into a room with you where you teach them what it means to a Wabash man. I am a Wabash man, and I know I can. The will to win comes from within. If it is to be, it is up to me. Those 3 Johnsonisms give students exactly the advice they need to hear on their first days of on campus. I'm now a Wabash man, and with hard work, I have the ability to accomplish anything. Rob, you arrived on the Wabash College campus in '71 with big shoes to fill after retirement of J. Owen Huntsman. Over the next 36 years as head coach of track and field and cross country, and as a volunteer for the decade since your retirement, you became one of the most heralded coaches in the country. And you have played a significant role in shaping the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies into an important cultural center of the campus. You coached dozens of All-Americans, academic All-Americans, conference champions, and won numerous Coaches of the Year awards, including the 1995 Division III Cross Country Coach of the Year when you led the Little Giants to 3rd place at the National Championship. You served for years on the Olympic Development Committee and coached relay teams that set national records. You were the first Division III coach to serve as an assistant on the U.S. track and field team at the Sydney Olympic Games. And yet what you are most proud of are your student athletes and what they've become later in their lives, so many of which are here tonight. This has been by far the greatest achievement that you've had as a track and field and cross-country coach. You see athletics as a metaphor for success in life, not a path to it. You know what it takes for a freshman to work his way up to a conference championship by the time they're a junior or senior. You also know that it will take twice that effort to get him into medical school or to law school. Indeed, you often say, I've coached more doctors, lawyers, and CEOs than probably any coach in the country. That's not vanity either. That's your recognition that the Wabash track and cross-country programs are first and foremost about students. So we did some math and did some fact-checking. We discovered that over the course of your remarkable career, you have coached 204 of those gentlemen. That includes 70 doctors and dentists, 40 PhDs, 55 lawyers and judges, and 39 who are in the top positions in business. Moreover, that one-liner helps all of us who work at Wabash, keeps our eye on the prize. Rob, you've lived out our most sacred values and have taught our students what it means to be good Wabash men. Thereby, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegated to that board by the state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you, Johnson Robert H., the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, of which this citation shall be a permanent witness. Congratulations. There you go. There you go. They had to get in the bag. Your next. We're going to make it, everyone. I can speak fast. We'll get there.
I had never seen them use an umbrella in 4 years.
That's right.
So, Mr. President.
Mr. Secretary.
It's my great honor to present to you the Wabash College class of 2019. So that you may confer upon them the in-course degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Thank you. Gentlemen of the Wabash class of 2019, you have fulfilled the requirements of graduation from this college. You have overcome obstacles, persevered in difficult times, and shined brightly in all aspects of your endeavors. You have made all of us who have taught, mentored, and guided you very proud of what you have accomplished in these sacred halls, in athletics competition, and in your creative and scholarly pursuits around the world. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegated to that board by the great state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibility thereunto appertaining. Now it is my distinct honor to invite you to come forward to be honored as graduates of our great college. Don't make it perfect. We're going to make it. That's right. There you go. Keep.
Miguel A. Aguirre Morales.
Congratulations. Don't squeeze too tight on it.
Joshua Bryce Aldridge.
Don't squeeze too tight on it, everybody. Congrats.
Keenan Aries Allstott. Connor Matthew Armuth.
Wrap it up tight. Okay, wrap it up tight. Congratulations. Thanks so much. Okay.
Parker Joseph Rees Balvich. Abel Stephen Becker. Alexander James Beckham. Savon Xavier Benetti. Russell Joseph Burning. Ethan H. Boyd. Bryce Lawrence Bridgewater. Lucas Gregory Busina. Nicholas Joseph Buning. Freeland Scott Burton. Scott Andrew By. Nolan Lee Calicott. Nicholas Merrick Vincent Chow. Eric Matthew Chavez. Chase Swenson Clarkson. Samuel Alejandro Kolyakova. James Bradley Cullison.
Sunglasses are a nice touch.
Weapons in order.
Christopher E. Dabrowski. Alexander Edward Degg. Lucas R. Dant. Brennan Klaus Davenport. Damian Ryan Davies. Christopher Ronald Diaz. William Tucker Dixon. Sawyer Michael Donovan. Deacon McKenna Daub. Colby K. Dunnigan. James David Eaton. Aaron Chase Elsing. Aaron James Embry. Lucas Cruz Esparza.
Really proud of you.
Jesus Yair Esquivel. Nicholas Philip Leonard Etter. Jacob Michael Ferguson. Jacob Ellis Furnung. Nicholas Andre Hamilton Fish. Yuan Shao Gao in absentia. Brady M. Gossett. Jaleel L. Grandberry.
Nice speech, Jaleel.
Jordan Lewis Greenwell. Blake Gwynn. Wyatt Edmund Gutierrez. Griffin Dantzler Hall. Cody Michael Hall. William Andrew Harmon. Juan Manuel Aro. Jacob Richard Helmer. Riti Sa Heng.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
Trevor Christian Hicks. Caleb Isaiah Hobgood. Nicholas Brian Holland. Austin C. Hoover. Hassan Irtija in absentia. Matthew Wiley Jackson. Joel Michael Janak. John Riley Janak. Alexander Kane Johnson. Brandon Johnson. Miles Mackenzie Johnson. Sokwan Ko. Inyu Ko. Javon Deshay Langley. Zachary David Trey LaRue. Corey Jacob Luters. Weijia Lee. Kyle Douglas Laux. Colin D. Lucky. Noah Andrew Madison. Preston James Mays. Kyle William Allen McAtee. Andrew Stephen Merced. Braxton Alexander Moore. Jonathan Darius Murdoch. Spencer James Newmister. John Robert Newton. Austin John Nightingale. Kevin John O'Donnell. Michael Raphael Ortiz. Lucas Cade Parrish. Cruz Felipe Paulino Salazar. Matthew James Panola. Pete A. Piazza. George Bradley Pippin. Dallas Leon Pitts, Jr. Justin Michael Raiders. Robert James Reed. Ryan Xavier Reeder. Bishop Cortland Rhodes. John David Rogers. Jorge Rodriguez. Duncan Amos Roy.
Bend over, brother.
Robert Alexander Rudisell.
Yeah. Congratulations. He's down there taking it easy.
Ronald Xavier Ryan. Paul James Schaefer. Griffin James Shermer. Sean Patrick Schlebecker. James Edmund Schultz. David Adrian Segovia. Sheng Xuan Shao. Louis Omar Sin. Tanner Colton Skeel. Griffin Andrew Smith. Lucas James Soliday. Ian Michael Songer. Weston Allen Steele. Jacob Matthew Stevenson. Samuel Robert Stewart. Paul Christian Stuyvesant. Andrew A. Tandy. Roy Anthony Taylor III in absentia. Austin Clay Tyke. Grayson Thomas Thacker. David Edward Thomas in absentia. Ryan Michael Thomas. John Michael Trebbing. Patrick Riley Troy. Dalton James Vachon. Enrique Vargas.
Good job, buddy.
Christian E. Vittorio. Ryan George Wagonblast. Ian Joseph Ward. Jonathan Wayne Weaver. Heath Michael Whalen.
All right, Ginger.
Logan Alexander White.
Call him Ginger one last time.
Zane Schaefer White. Christian James Wirtz. Jared J. Wolf. Isaac Anthony Wynn. Xinyu Zhang. Adam Joseph Zink. Nok Min Dang, cum laude. David Alexander Doherty, cum laude. Con Min Do, cum laude. Evan Maxwell Frank, cum laude.
Bend the knees a little.
Charles Robert Fry, cum laude.
Congratulations.
Chung Ga, cum laude. Joseph Robert House, cum laude. John Michael Leppert, cum laude. Beck-Ann Prom, cum laude. William L. Robinson, cum laude. Sean Michael Rodzicki, cum laude. Andrew Patrick Schenkel, cum laude.
Off the stage.
Derek Andrew Scott, cum laude. Braden Michael Slavens, cum laude. Ben Anthony Stakowski, cum laude. Joseph Robin Whitaker, cum laude. Jared William Woodward, cum laude. Brandon Clay Arbuckle, magna cum laude. Patrick Michael Azar, magna cum laude. Matthew J. Bailey, magna cum laude. William Patrick Charles Bernhard, magna cum laude. Jacques Robert Boulet, magna cum laude. Brent Anthony Breeze, magna cum laude. Connor James Brooks, magna cum laude. Nicholas David Budler, magna cum laude. Sergio Stephen Matthew Kobos, magna cum laude. Jared Eugene Cummings, magna cum laude. Neil Komatani Dittman, magna cum laude. Anthony Stephen Ely, magna cum laude.
All right, Tony.
Samuel Patrick Hayes, magna cum laude. Walker Lee Hedgepath, magna cum laude. Ahad Ahmad Khan, magna cum laude. Caleb Tate Larson, magna cum laude. Joseph Andrew Lenke, magna cum laude. Dustin Ryan Miller, magna cum laude. Tang Swan Nguyen, magna cum laude. Sorry. Jacob Matthew Miller, magna cum laude.
That's why I read them.
Thank you very much.
Oliver Francis Page, magna cum laude. Cole Allen Payne, magna cum laude.
I'll get it just right.
Anish Ranyar, magna cum laude. Luke Stephen Rawls, magna cum laude. Runtao Song, magna cum laude in absentia. Nicholas James Vito, magna cum laude. An Duc Vu, magna cum laude. Kevin Patrick Wagner, magna cum laude. Christopher William Wilson, magna cum laude. Justin Lee Woodard, magna cum laude. Youngjin Yi, magna cum laude. William Ignatius Amberger, summa cum laude. Joseph Tyler Berteau, summa cum laude. Quinn Allen Cavin, summa cum laude. Kenneth Wallace Cox, summa cum laude.
All right.
Ian Michael Finley, summa cum laude. Zachary Thomas Havlin, summa cum laude. Cal Stewart Hockemeyer, summa cum laude. Matthew James Hodges, summa cum laude. Matthew Warren Hopkins, summa cum laude. Isaac John Hunter, summa cum laude. Eric Henry Lang, summa cum laude. William Patrick Maloney, summa cum laude. Jordan Lee Ogle, summa cum laude. Joseph Dominic Pataxel, summa cum laude.
Good to see you up there, Dom. Yeah, I can help catch up with him.
Andrew Ricardo Puente, summa cum laude.
Yeah, exactly.
Max Elliott Von Dalen, summa cum laude.
All right, best for last. Okay. Thank you, that was quite helpful. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Whose idea was it to do this outdoors? I don't know. Congratulations, students. We're running a little early, so I thought I'd take some time and talk about some of my early academic works. You know, nobody's read them, but I thought maybe we'd give it a chance here. Let's do the final charge, everyone, and I'll try to, at least in my own way, try to keep it crisp and brief. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heavens. When you first came to Wabash College, I think the first thing we thought about you is, how did you ever get into Wabash College? And in 4 short years, you know, we think very carefully about how are we ever going to make it without you. What your Wabash education done is provided you with the simple gifts that you'll need to find your way, to make good and to do good, to find meaning and purpose in life, and to celebrate it. Not just to be men, but to be very, very good men. When you came to Wabash College, if you recall in that ringing in-day speech, anybody remember the speech, the 4 gets not to forget? Apparently you've forgotten some of them, but let me just remind you what they are. It spells the word wish, and that makes life a lot easier, W-I-S-H. Get to work, get involved, get to sleep, you will shake you there, and get help. You did a lot better on that one. It spells the word wish, and it was my wish for you. Do not forget those 4 gets, because you're going to need them as you move and graduate from the college. As you leave, however, I want you to think about what I call, so you got the ring in speech, you got the ring and out speech. It's called the 4 gives not to forget. The first one is to give thanks. You have mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, spouses, partners, and friends who are all here just for you. They're a little soggy. That's on me. They are here to celebrate you. Don't forget it throughout your life to give and celebrate them and give thanks to those around you. The second give is to give back. Our day of giving here at Wabash took place a month ago. It set records. It was a day when we celebrated the philanthropy of alumni and friends who support the college. These generous people stepped up for you because someone else stepped up for them at an earlier time. That's how one generation passes the torch to the next. But here's the secret. Life is not about one day of giving, it's about every day of giving. So please give back every day in every aspect in your life. The third give is to give it forward. That means to be generous to those around you who are standing outside your circle and bring them into your circle. Expand your notion of self-interest, be inclusive, and you will see your lives flourish in ways you could never consider. The final give is to give notice. Wabash men, you have arrived. You are smart, directed, passionate, and compassionate. You have swagger. Don't lose it. Don't ever lose it. Wabash always fights will be your mantra for life. Be bold and stay bold. Gentlemen, the class of 2019, rise. Please rise. It is my honor and privilege to be with you, to have taken part in your joys and sorrows, hopes and dreams, victories, and a couple defeats, as your brother, and to witness your shared lives with one another. Know that ultimately, here's the trick question at the end, everyone. The greatest education and the greatest gift we gave you at this college was each other. Don't be that guy who comes back to alumni events and says, I haven't talked to my brothers in many years. The people up here who taught you may not be around in many, many years, but your brothers will be around. And you will need that gift, because in your future, you will be graced with moments of unspeakable joy and beauty. It will be also tested by sorrow and pain. Be strong and seek strength from one another. You have been and will continue to be each other's epistles in a place, Wabash College, that will always be your home. Now go forth, gentlemen of Wabash, and leave this place with pride in your accomplishments and confidence that you will make a positive difference in this world. And be good, very good, Wabash men.
Forevermore, and days of yore, their deeds be no
Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we ask now for your almighty hand upon our graduates as they and their families celebrate this grand milestone. Let us unite our hearts in prayer and entrust to the hands of the Lord the graduates of the class of 2019. Amen.
You want one of those boxes, Kyle? Can we grab one of those boxes? I'm just going to stick them in something else.
From the hills that make the western plain, or where the cotton is blowing, the gloomy shade of the northern pine, the light of the southern seas, there's a name held dear in a color we cheer wherever we find it glowing. Tears arise for longing eyes that floats in the evening breeze. When day is done and the western sun is painting a flashing glory, across the skies, gorgeous skies, in color we love so well. We love to sit as the shadows flit and praise the song and story. We love the shadows of light that's out of good old Wabash shell. Our prayers are always thine, our voices and hearts combine, to sing thy praise of future days shall bring thy name before us. When college days are past, as long as life shall last, our greatest joy will be to shout the chorus. Dear old Wabash, thy loyal sons shall ever love thee, and o'er the classic halls the scarlet flag shall proudly flash. Go Wabash, long in our hearts we'll bear the sweetest memories of thee. Long shall we sing thy praises, old Wabash.
my friend.
Done.
I got some.
I was gonna say, I know. You guys.
We just graduated.